Ever notice how we credit ourselves for success, but blame outside forces for failure? That's the self-serving bias at work. It's our brain's PR agent, making us look good, even in love. In relationships, this bias turns shared experiences into competing stories. My heroics, your mistakes. Instead of teamwork, it creates blame and defensiveness, eroding trust. Recognizing this bias is the first step to building real connection and mutual respect. The self-serving bias quietly weaves its way into our daily lives, often without us even noticing. It's a mental shortcut that can shape the way we see ourselves and our partners, especially in the routines and challenges of everyday relationships. Take, for example, the classic chore wars. This is where the self-serving bias is most obvious. Each partner tends to believe they're carrying more of the load, whether it's doing the dishes, folding laundry, or taking out the trash. Both people often overestimate their own contributions, convinced they're the ones keeping the household running smoothly. This can lead to frustration, resentment, and a sense of unfairness that builds over time. When things go well, like a clean house or a successful family event, we're quick to credit our own skills, effort, or planning. We see ourselves as the reason for the success. But when things don't go as planned, it's easy to blame outside circumstances, bad luck, or even our partner's actions. This pattern shows up in arguments about money, disagreements over parenting styles, or even something as simple as getting lost on the way to a restaurant. Suddenly, it's not our fault. It's the GPS, the traffic, or our partner's poor sense of direction. Over time, this pattern can seriously distort our sense of reality. We start to see ourselves as always right, and our partner as the one who's always making mistakes. This makes it harder to empathize and communicate honestly. The result? A relationship where both people feel misunderstood, unappreciated, and emotionally distant. The connection that once felt strong can start to fade. Learning to spot these moments of self-serving bias is the first step toward breaking the cycle. By recognizing when it's happening, couples can start to have more honest conversations, share appreciation, and rebuild trust, one moment at a time. Our minds are wired to protect our egos, often without us even realizing it. When something goes wrong, our first instinct is rarely to look inward and question our own role. Instead, we tend to shield ourselves from uncomfortable truths by shifting the blame elsewhere. This is a natural defense mechanism, designed to keep us feeling competent and in control, even when the reality might be more complicated. We unconsciously rewrite the story of what happened, editing out our own mistakes and focusing on the ways we were wronged. This helps us maintain a positive self-image, but it also prevents us from seeing the full picture. In relationships, this can be especially damaging, as it keeps us stuck in cycles of misunderstanding and resentment. Admitting our own mistakes can feel deeply uncomfortable, even threatening. So instead, we look for reasons outside ourselves, our partner's actions, their mood, or even the situation itself. Blaming others or circumstances is easier than facing the vulnerability that comes with self-reflection. We judge ourselves by our intentions, believing that we meant well, even if things went wrong. But our partner can only see our actions, not the thoughts or feelings behind them. This gap in perception can lead to frustration and hurt on both sides. This is known as the fundamental attribution error, a tendency to excuse our own missteps as the result of circumstances, while blaming our partner's mistakes on their character or personality. It's a mental shortcut that makes us feel better in the moment, but it can erode trust and intimacy over time. Our memories aren't immune to this bias either. We tend to remember our own sacrifices and efforts, while highlighting our partner's flaws or shortcomings. Over time, this selective memory can create a distorted narrative that justifies our own behavior and keeps us from growing. Blame feels safer than vulnerability. It allows us to avoid the discomfort of admitting fault, but it also blocks the path to real connection and understanding. When we stay in blame, we build walls instead of bridges. True growth in any relationship requires the courage to look inward, to question our own assumptions, and to take responsibility for our actions. Only then can we move beyond blame and build deeper, more authentic connections with those we love. Self-serving bias poisons trust, making one partner feel invisible and the other defensive. Communication breaks down as conversations become battles to prove who's right. You always and you never replace empathy and teamwork. When we defend our egos, we stop listening and start attacking. Vulnerability becomes risky, so partners withdraw. The relationship turns into a scorekeeping contest, not a safe haven. Without trust and open communication, love can't thrive. Let's start with Mark and Sarah's holiday dinner. A night that was supposed to be filled with warmth, laughter, and togetherness. The table was set beautifully. The aroma of home-cooked food filled the air, and family gathered around, ready to celebrate. But beneath the surface, something else was simmering. Mark, beaming with pride, took all the credit for preparing the meal. He told stories about his secret recipes and how much effort he put into every dish, soaking up the praise from their guests. Meanwhile, Sarah sat quietly, her contributions overlooked. She had spent days planning the menu, shopping for ingredients, and making sure everything ran smoothly. But as Mark accepted compliment after compliment, Sarah felt invisible. Her hard work erased in a moment. The resentment she felt began to build, casting a shadow over the evening. Then there's David and Maria, who decided to tackle a DIY deck project together. They imagined weekends spent building something lasting, a symbol of their teamwork and love. But when the project hit a snag and things started to fall apart, David was quick to point fingers. He blamed Maria for mistakes and complained about the poor quality of the materials, never once considering his own role in the setbacks. Maria felt hurt and unfairly targeted, her confidence shaken. Both of these stories reveal a common trap in relationships: the self-serving bias. When one partner hogs the credit for successes or shifts the blame for failures, it creates a rift between them. Instead of celebrating together or learning from mistakes as a team, couples end up arguing over who deserves praise or who's at fault. Shared victories become solo wins, leaving one partner feeling left out and unappreciated. And when things go wrong, instead of coming together to solve problems, couples end up pointing fingers, deepening the divide. The result? Even when partners are physically together, sharing meals, working on projects, they can feel emotionally distant and alone. The sense of partnership fades, replaced by frustration and isolation. These stories aren't just cautionary tales. They're also reminders that with awareness and effort, couples can break the cycle, learn to share credit, accept responsibility, and grow stronger together. The first step is awareness. Notice your thoughts after successes and failures. Challenge your narrative. What did your partner contribute? What was your share of the problem? Shift from I and you to we and us. Make problems shared, not personal. Give credit generously and specifically. Say thank you out loud. This builds appreciation and rewires your brain to see your partner's efforts. Over time, these habits replace blame with teamwork. It's a muscle. Practice makes progress. Overcoming self-serving bias isn't about perfection. It's about catching yourself and choosing connection over ego. When partners share accountability, they build resilience and trust. This creates psychological safety, where mistakes are met with support, not judgment. A growth mindset turns conflict into opportunities to learn together. The best relationships aren't perfect. They're built by two people willing to grow and own their flaws. By working against self-serving bias, we build a stronger we. The journey starts within, but the reward is a deeper, more loving partnership.